let me ask you a question about what's going on right now at the ports. Okay, Long Beach, L.A., that gets 40% of all imports in America comes through Long Beach and LA, right? And the prices have gone up from $2,000 to $25,000, $30,000. One guy was talking about in 60 Minutes this Sunday, I don't know if you guys saw the 60 Minutes, about the whole what's going on with the ports. He says, I have $1 million that I had to spend on the containers. He says, I can't take it out, but they're forcing me to pay the rent, even though I have no way of taking it out right now, right? Okay. Here's a question for you. What percentage of the tariffs on China are still on? What percent of tariffs?
We have not removed any tariffs on China.
All the tariffs are still there, right?
Correct.
Okay, fantastic.
Which sticks it to American companies.
I want to ask you guys a crazy question, and you tell me. I'm actually going to be curious to know what you guys are going to say about this. This port situation is worse than we think it is. Christmas is going to be a weird Christmas while you're buying gifts. You ain't going to get the stuff that you want to get. If you haven't started Christmas shopping, folks, you're probably not going to get the gift you want to get for your friends. You're probably going to be Christmas shopping at CVS and getting some shitty gift for your family and whatever's left over for you, because that's what ends up happening.
It's going to be a record year for gift cards.
Never mind
it's
Christmas.
It's going to be a gift card season. Yeah, hey.
Never mind Christmas. We can't get building supplies.
But we couldn't do it with our building. That's why we just bought a different building. So we got 2 buildings we're buying instead of 1 because we can't get glass.
It's all there. It's just on a boat anchored off of Long Beach.
Anyways, this is the point I'm trying to make to you. Here's a question I got for you. I'm so curious to know what you guys are going to say. I am so curious to know what you guys are going to say. So if this massive crisis we have at the ports that's taking place, what has Biden done about it? I'm curious. What's Biden done about it? What phone call has Biden made to China? What phone call has Kamala made to China? Schumer, Pelosi.
She's not allowed to make calls.
But I'm asking a serious question. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being condescending. I'm asking a very serious question.
No, I'm serious. She's not a policy.
This is a catastrophic event that's taking place in America today. This is not a small issue. They're just not. If this was the other administration, every second would be hearing about what's going on at the port, right? Yep. But it's not every second, right? Yep. If Biden could, what could Biden do right now to make the phone call? He's done nothing. So here's my trick question for you. Let's see what you're going to say. And see if you already know where this question is going. If your friend, DJT, was president today, okay? If your buddy, you guys are from the same area, Florida, whatever. If your buddy was the president today, do you think he makes a phone call to China?
Are you saying that Biden hasn't spoken to Xi?
If he has spoken to Xi, has anything changed?
No, they actually did finally
they just
speak to
they
each
had a
other.
3-hour call the other day.
What's changed?
Nothing.
I think the call was like last week.
Bro, you and I can talk for 3 hours and we can shoot the shit and nothing gets done.
I don't think Biden and Xi are shooting the shit.
Oh, so what are they doing? But here's what I'm asking you here. If Trump was president and you find that this is going on at the ports and they're raising prices from $2,000 to $25,000, from $2,000 to $25,000, hurting the small business owner where that price of $2 to $25 gets passed down to middle America because the guy said, I have to raise my prices. If DJT, the most hated president of the last 40 years, most controversial president of the last 40 years, like him or hate him, if he was president today, would he make that phone call and what would have happened? The answer is yes or no.
Would he have made the phone call?
Would he have called China and done something to expedite the process and cheapen the cost
sure
to the business owners?
they would have had some dialogue. Dialogue is good.
Do you think more progress would have been made where we're...
I don't know. You
really saying you don't know?
Are you telling me to say you want me to say yes that Donald would have got it done?
No, Adam, it's not about yes.
Tom,
let's be intellectually honest.
Let me just ask this question.
He would have made the call.
Let me just ask this question. Here.
What don't we understand? Biden spoke to Xi for 3 hours.
Tom,
he made the call.
Tom,
what are we talking about?
Adam, let me go to the question for you here. Let me ask the question in a different way. Say Clinton's the president. Okay, the guy you like. This isn't like, say Bush is the president. Say Reagan's the president. Say JFK's the president. Say any of these guys are the president. Do you not think a phone call would be made right now to figure something out? FYI,
yes.
You can't say the answer. You don't know what Trump would have done. You had 4 years of track record to say what he would have done. Do you think he would have called China and said, hey, if you raise these container prices one more time, 25% tariff, 35% tariff. You think he would have done that? You think he would have done that? You think now that China is the richest country in the world, richer than U.S., you think he would be okay that happening during his administration? Wouldn't be happening. He'd be making that phone call. China's sitting there saying, freaking awesome. Give us more money. These guys are idiots. They're letting us do it.
China is, they're really taking, they're taking advantage of the absolute, it doesn't matter what subject you're talking about. The Biden administration is paralyzed. It doesn't, you fill in the blank. They're paralyzed. Paralyzed. They can't get anything done.
And
this
why
is
is that?
Frightening. I mean, you had In 2019, you had more than 1,000 trucking companies go out of business. In 2020, you had like 3,200 trucking companies go out of business, mostly small mom and pops. Why haven't regulations been ripped back immediately to make life on truckers easier? Why? We're talking about executive order stuff here. Just get out your damn pen and sign it. I mean, why haven't we seen more executive orders, period, out of Biden to do what he can?
That was the whole complaint with Biden, that he did too many executive orders at the beginning of his presidency.
When was the last time he got out of? How long did it take him to sign the infrastructure bill so that he could have this huge ceremony on Monday and then go to some bridge that's falling down and try and, quote unquote, sell the legislation after it had passed? What the hell's up with that? Buddy, I don't need you to go do some ribbon cutting ceremony. I need you to be president of the country when it's being eaten alive by inflation. Do something.
So what do you think he is actually doing?
No. Wait.
Adam, I don't think what
guys,
you said
I've
about
asked
that
the
was
question.
fair.
No one's given my answer. I asked the question. Here's my question to you. If Trump's president today, if DeSantis is president today, if Manchin is president today, pick any of these guys. Mm-hmm. But specifically to Trump, because we got 4 years of track record. That's what I'm specifically asking about. If he was president today, how would he handle what's going on with China? I'm curious. What do you think? You're saying, I don't know. Very naive answer. You're a smart guy.
I'm not saying that.
What do you think he would do?
You framed the question.
What do you think?
What should have Biden have done? He made a phone call. They spoke to Xi for 3 hours. You're framing as if he didn't speak.
Who gives a shit if nothing happens?
I'm asking you.
There's no economics.
What would Trump have done if he was president today in regards to China and the shit show we have at the ports?
I'm sure he would do something about it.
Like
whether
what?
it was good, I'm sure it'd be something
there would have been
bombastic. I'm sure he would have threatened Xi, whatever.
Do you think China would be a little bit more careful to bump up prices? 60 Minutes, the guy says. He says, the 60 Minutes guys, what's the name? Not Lester Holt. What is the guy's name? Anyway, the 60 Minute guy, he speaks very calm. He says, do you think China is taking advantage of the crisis and raising up prices on containers because they can?
Duh.
Here's a guy's answer. He says, it certainly feels like it. Adam, from $2,000 to $25,000. From $2,000 to $25,000.
Adam, who produces 90% of the containers in the world?
China?
China. China manufactures 90% of the containers in the world.
Okay, so what should be done?
No, it's
We're saying what should be done.
I'll answer the question.
Okay, let me ask Patrick's question a different way. By now, would there have been multiple delegations of advisors on airplanes to Beijing, sitting down, ripping doors open, multiple meetings saying, we're going to get to the bottom of this because you're not going to rape our country? There would have been multiple delegations, and if there was no response, as there has not been a response, all they do is continue to raise prices. If there was no response, then there would have been retaliation. And I'm speaking for a Joe Manchin. I'm speaking for a Bill Clinton. You don't watch what's happening to Americans happen to Americans and have your press secretary stand up in front of a podium and say, most economists don't see inflation. Denial is not... It's not a strategy.
No, it was no economists. No economists that live on my floor say there's inflation.
I thought that was attached to the infrastructure bill. That's a separate question.
Look,
when she said
saying no economists see inflation
attached to the infrastructure
or the
bill.
infrastructure bill,
everyone sees the 6% inflation.
You know what?
That's a different point.
I agree with her. The infrastructure bill is not, because you know what? Joe Biden got up and said, this infrastructure spending bill is going to create tons of union jobs. It's like saying, we're officially, formally announcing to you that we're going to piss away taxpayer money by having unionized positions. That's what the entire Obamacare, $600 billion, whatever the hell it was. Obama said after he got out of office that it accomplished nothing for the economy. Zero, zippo. If you're going to do this the way that it's always been done, pork spending, Psaki's right. It's not going to create inflation. It's not going to create economic output. It's not going to create shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm going to answer your question directly.
Please, because this guy is not
he did not.
I don't know what he would have threatened him. He would have done something. I don't have the answer here of what Trump maybe would have done.
Mr. Sosnick, you asked us a question. You said, "What do you guys do for Thanksgiving?" Mm-hmm. We answered. We went through the process.
I answered it as well.
I know, but you haven't answered it. Your answer is, I don't know what he would do.
Trump would have made some threats to nuke them. I don't know. What would he have done?
Come on, I was quiet.
Sarcasm, which is fantastic. You know, it's great. So that means you're not answering. You're copping out with
Pat,
go ahead.
I've answered it 17
Mr.
different
Cool.
ways.
Stop.
Axel,
I was quiet.
Freaking cool guy. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.